Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
No tricks this Halloween week as far as top stock picks go. Only, we hope, treats with our strategists Shiraz Mian and Dan LeBeau here to reintroduce us to a couple of recognizable names we've heard on and on and on.
Sure.
You, Shiraz, are going to tell us more about Intel.
Intel, yeah. So remember the days when Intel Inside was the sign of a good computer. Intel and Microsoft were like the two leaders of the tech space.
Yep.
Intel, I have been critical of management for the last many years, and my thesis was that they tried their best to find ways to miss every imaginable new development, trend, market opportunity that was emerging in the tech space. So they missed out on the smartphones, they missed out on a whole bunch of different things. But the last few years, they have been doing very good on having exposure to the cloud and the data analytics end market. And this data center group, one of the businesses that they have, is the reason why the stock has done what it has done in recent years. They reported last week good numbers. They beat top and bottom, guided higher. And in terms of the recent results, this was a reversal of the negative trend we had been seeing since the beginning of this year. Early this year, through April 2019, the stock had gone up to about 60. That's about the 52-week high too. They came out with the March quarter results. Numbers in the data center group were weak. The stock was really beaten down and went down into the low 40s. I want to say $42, $43. And it has been steadily inching back up. It was up big on last week's earnings report, back to in the mid-50s, high 50s now.
It's one of their main focuses, right? That data center group?
That data center is the primary reason why anyone would like to hold the stock. So I don't see the Intel stock as a trading opportunity. It's more of an investing idea for folks. And if you are a little bit hesitant, given the run-up it has had since last week's earnings report, I totally get that. Perhaps wait a little bit for an opportunity when the stock pulls back a bit. But on the whole, this is a keeper. They have a good, compelling offering for this big, growing end market. And we have few big tech companies that pay a growing dividend. Intel is one of them. The stock is not expensive, even though it has had a good run-up recently. It trades at a discount to the broader semiconductor space in general. Part of that is because it's a mature, relatively less growthier name than some of the others, like, say, NVIDIA and stuff. But on the whole, a good pick for the long run. And if you are a little bit skeptical following the recent run-up, then perhaps wait for a small pullback.
All right, Dan, you are talking about Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla is a name that we've all heard, and we've all seen the Tesla cars driving around, and it's actually one of the most volatile stocks on the market today. Looking back at the 5-year chart here, you can see it's bounced all over the place, seeming to have 250 as the focal point as both the support and the resistance level. We'll go to the 1-year chart here and take a look. The stock peaked here at the mid-December of 2018 and dropped over 50% due to liquidity concerns over, losing cash and burning a significant amount of cash flow. But they were able to raise $3 billion in a debt and equity offering in the end of May. And they also reported delivery records in the beginning of June, which sparked a rally here into the next earnings report. And the next earnings report was a bit of a disappointment. We missed on both top and bottom line, which marginally dropped the stock. But beginning of October, we saw another record-breaking deliveries coming out of Tesla, and that started the rally up into earnings Q3. So we've seen a lot of movement with earnings and different cyclicalities, and a lot of it has to do with nothing, like no broader market pushers. Like there's no index or no other drivers that really seem to be pushing the stock other than headlines, earnings, and surprises that Elon Musk throws out there. So this most recent earnings was huge. We beat on the bottom line significantly. We were expecting a huge loss, which I think was a springboard from Q2. It pushed investor sentiment down significantly, and we saw a huge beat in Q3, propelling the stock. I think it was over 17% the day following the earnings, which was last Wednesday. So Thursday of last week, October, I want to say 23rd, it booms, and it continues to push up. A lot of people are saying this is a short burn, people getting out of their short positions. I read a headline that said shorts lost over $1 billion in one day following that. But the stock continues to drive, and I think the real story behind this is the Shanghai factory. And they are ahead of production in the Shanghai factory. It's going to be their third gigafactory around the world.
I was going to say, aren't deliveries up for this?
Yeah, the record deliveries coming into Q4.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're going to be a part of the biggest electric vehicle market in the world once they start production in Shanghai, and it's going to kind of bypass the tariffs that the automobile companies have been concerned with.
It's a big thing for this company.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, Tesla is one of those stocks, Terry, that investors either love or hate. There's not a lot in between, and it's a story stock. You believe in the Tesla story of how they will transform the world, and folks who believe in that, they just love the stock. So I think there's compelling value there.
And and they've continued to prove themselves over and over again. Obviously, they've beaten the past, but continuing to hit record delivery levels is huge, and especially with this Shanghai factory coming into play, I think it's going to be a huge play in the future. And analysts are becoming increasingly optimistic, and right now it's a Zacks rank 2, and I think we're going to see a further upside in the future here.
All right. Do you own either of these two stocks that we've been talking about, Dan?
I own Tesla, yes.
Tesla? And
I have this in the focus list portfolio, and to add just one other thing, it's a Zacks rank number 1, strong buy. Yeah.
Okay.
Intel.
Yeah, your stuff.
Yes.
Right. Don't confuse me.
Okay.
It's not hard to do anymore.
That's right. That's right.
All right, thank you both for that. Don't forget, there is always more stock information on our website, Zacks.com. You want to get over to the homepage and start checking it out. And also, don't forget that for a limited time, you are invited to follow market insights, buys and sells from our recommendation portfolios here at Zacks in real time. And it only costs $1. And you can even look in services that have typically been only exclusive to investors that are in them, closed to outside investors. All you need to do to get involved in that is go to Zacks.com/promo, and that'll give you more details. And in the meantime, with Shiraz and Dan, I'm Terry Ruffalo.